Hey Alan, it's good to see you again. We did this poll to see if people are okay with pointing down, and it looks like people are okay. So we get some nice down points in this video, but only if people deserve it. And we've got some good criteria, I think, for down pointing. Specifically, people who hang around the bonfires like this guy with their extra health and their double Estus. Yeah, that's gonna warrant a point down. So this guy, he actually was using another ultra great sword or a great sword, but he decided to swap it out to these twin cell swords or whichever double bladed swords these are. And he started having better success against me, which was frustrating because a lot of it is kind of him being passive and not really doing anything, which just gets annoying. And this was one of the first times I really was using this particular build I've got going. We've got the Executioner's chestplate along with, I think, the Execution. No, we got the Night Helm on at the moment. And that gives us around 30 poise, and we're using the Black Knight Greatsword. And so we're kind of playing around with this one and just trying to figure out how to use it. I like the Black Knight Greatsword because it has a good... here we ran up here because I got tired of bonfire dueling. And so we do a little bit of patrolling just because we are tired of playing this guy. We got a lot of heals on him earlier when we were trading and stuff, but anywho, I like the Black Knight Greatsword. It's a little bit faster than an Ultra Greatsword, and it's still got some nice reach, which I think we display in this one. I can't quite remember, but and I can get 2 swings and a couple rolls away, or I can do 3 swings if I want. And so that's what we're kind of playing with. So this guy right here is the one I told you about. We ran into him, and so he had no Estus left. Until I guess I invaded right after he destroyed the Pontiff Beast, and I gave him a bunch of embers, and we toasted it up and goofed off for a few minutes, and then I left his world because he was a total bro. And right here, he is being a total bro again. He just unequipped everything. And it's like, nah, I'm not gonna help you. And so you see he comes up here and helps get the Outrider Knight to aggro, which I'm all okay with. So we instantly get a little bit in our favor, and the host here is freaking out, and so we're just gonna try and punish him. You can see my Sunbro over there, the invading Sunbro, actually decides to step out of the way, and Outrider Knight does our job, and we win. You get a point down because you're up on fire. And this guy is a total bro, so we like him. Good times. We chatted afterwards. It was good stuff. And so we come into the next one. And this was... I thought this was a really good invasion with this build. The host wants to hang out by the bonfire. And so we give a couple roll downs to see if he's going to come. And the invasion before this one that I don't have in this video was a host and Phantom who literally just sat at the bonfire forever. And we were able to use the ball to punish them a bit, but then they just kind of decided, we're going to set the bonfire. And so I got irritated with them. But I think the host has seen me here because he's going to come in after this next, or he's going to come in right now and immediately try to punish me. But we get a few good hits in on him, and we're aware of the ball. And we basically are just going to try and pull the host into fighting around this ball, because I'm pretty confident if we can get him in there, we're going to win. And he's going to throw some fireballs, cool, spreading fire, and we're just going to show him how super anime we are with our rolls and our flips. And he's going to give that up and decide to come fight me with, of course, another Irithyll Straight Sword. Super cool. See these all the time. But you can see here we've got some good spacing, and we're swinging and he gets hit by the ball, and that's just the best. And that's exactly what we're going for here. And so we've got him kind of stuck here, which is what we want, and we hit him twice, we roll, he backs out of the way here. And so we've got him exactly where we want him. We hit him a couple times, we roll out of the way, boom, ball finishes him off. And yeah, good stuff. Give him the point down because he was just trying to hang out by the bonfire. And we used the ball to kill him because we are awesome. And so this build I'm trying this one out. I kind of like it, but I'm really getting used to that Black Knight Greatsword. And so we've got the Armor of Thorns on again, and we've got the barbed straight sword to try and proc the bleed. And then in our second weapon, we keep a poisoned Grew Spear. So the Grew Spear already has, or it's the Rotten Grew Spear, it already has poison ocular effect. You can see there. We are the master of traps. We activated the trap and hit him with some fire arrows because we are the master of traps. And the secondary weapon, the whole point of this spear is just to proc poison. Because the whole point of this build is to try and force the host into making mistakes. And so if we can proc some poison on him, then I think we'll be in a really good place because that puts a bit of pressure on. And so if I get about 3 solid back-to-back pokes, it will proc poison on him. And you can see right there we got 3. Even when he was rolling away, it still counts that auxiliary effect, which is why we actually took that idea from the Frost swords and Vort's hammer that everyone's using. And so he's got the poison, and so now I can switch to the straight sword and try and play him a bit more aggressively. He's got the... He's killed a roach. Sorry about that. He's got the great sword, ultra great sword, whichever it is. I think that's just a great sword. It might even be the Black Knight sword because I know that slash. No, Black Knight sword does something different. But anywho, I'm just ranting. And so we pull out the spear, and it gives us a nice little poke, nice little distance as well. And it just, it just changes things up, right? We're just trying to keep the host on their toes. We're trying to get him to get rid of his Estus and all the things. We've got the 100 charms, but if I'm totally honest with you, I keep forgetting that we have the 100 charms. And I was going to put a blood gem on this sword, but the bummer about that is you can't buff the swords once you put that poison gem or that blood gem on them. Once you give them that nice infusion, you can't buff them anymore. So we keep the sword normal. I don't even think we have a raw gem on it, just because I think we used it on something else. So that's okay. It is what it is. I think here I hit myself with the traps. Just barely. But we put the poison gem on the Grew Spear because I don't want to have to take the time to buff it, and I don't want people to see that I took the time to buff it. Like, I just want it to automatically be taken care of. And so it went from like a 30 poison auxiliary to like a 34 or something. And so there we go. Proc poison. We have I don't want to say we have an advantage, but we are causing a bit of chaos. The host's health is going to tick down ever so slowly, and so that's going to put a lot of pressure on him to come and then back off. And he never takes any... I just hit myself with the trap there, like the dungeon master that I am. Hit myself with the trap. But the poison's going to kind of force him to chase me a little bit because I guess he doesn't have any moss clumps because he never used them. But because he's chasing me and being aggressive, we can pull in this Karthus skeleton thing in here. And these guys are a pain, I think, to deal with at a lower level. They do a lot of rolling, a lot of spinning. I have a hard time with them, and I've actually just run past them on this character. I didn't even fight any of them. And he's causing some chaos. Unfortunately, we lose the Karthus skeleton dude, but we get a little smack. And that's cool. Get a little turn and burn, roll away. He's still poisoned. Get a little turn and burn, run away. No Estus, so we gotta be a little bit passive. And we use the traps to our advantage. I totally knew that was there because I'm the Dungeon Master and we win. edge walk away because we're cool like that. And we're back into the night gear. Want a little bit more defense. We're just trying a lot of different things out. And these aren't all exactly in order from how I did them. Some of them downloaded at different paces and whatnot. So right off the bat, we see the lizard, and we're going to call her Crystal the lizard. And we are thinking about Crystal, and we want Crystal the lizard in the fight. And so we are going to go and find the host. Where is he? We go and check down here to see if any of the maggot monsters, I don't know what they're called, I call them maggot monsters, are alive, and it looks like they are not. We go down here, the shortcut is activated, and then he starts chucking fire at us, and that's quite rude. So we're just going to go and start hitting this guy because, he threw fire at us. This is his world, I'm a guest, and he's just being rude. We do have the Night Slayer ring on, so I'm not afraid to poke into people's shields and try to get them to stagger. And I'm not afraid to really take a couple hits in order to proc that poison when I'm using this. So I'm trying to play a bit more aggressive. I'm willing to do more trades and things. Even if you have to force people to use that moss clump, not a lot of people keep it in their quick slots, I don't think. But we managed to proc the poison there. That's all we wanted. And so we switched to the barbed straight sword because we can get a bleed if we hit people enough with it. And the blue is trying to attack the host. Why? Who knows? We get him in the roll there. Good stuff. We animate the fireball because Dark Souls. And we, these guys, this blue is not smart at all. We literally lead him into Crystal the lizard, and he wakes her up, and she is very mad because this blue has disturbed her sleep. And so Crystal is now in the fight, which is great. We stagger the blue there, but somehow stagger the blue out of Crystal's body slam, and we take it full on. That's all right. Crystal is hurting us on accident, but we still love you, Crystal. And so I'm gonna take the host while the blue is busy. Blue chases me, and the host decides he's just gonna keep on trading. And if he's gonna trade, I'll just keep on poking, and that's how we win. Thank you, Crystal the lizard. You are wonderful. You can go back to nothing, or just keep on wrecking everything. That's cool. And so there's another victory for us in the bag. The build's interesting. It's this is that shield match I was telling you about. I stopped there so I could start recording. But I honestly didn't know that you could do any of these attacks. I knew you could light attack with the shield. I did not know that you could strong attack, leap attack, all those things. We try to get in some nice combos with the shield here. If I'm ever going to do an honor fight, this is the way I want to do it. I want an honor fight where we just don't drink and we use shields only. This was the most fun. I was laughing so hard while we were doing this. And then, beating this host with a shield, he's got more health than me. It felt so good. And we just goof off and screw around and have a great time. He goes for a leaping attack, and I see that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to do that. And so I try it, and I fail. But we are going to get some good attacks in. The attack frames are kind of interesting with the shields, because there's some where it looks like we get them, and it looks like we get each other, and it kind of gets it sometimes and doesn't give it sometimes, but is he fat rolling? I think he is fat rolling. But he hits us. At the end of the day, we're just two guys who are bashing each other's faces in the fields in Dark Souls 3, and it's just funny. At the end of the day, that's really all it is. It's just funny. We hit him there twice, and I'm getting real excited because I've got half health left, and he's down, and we are going to win right here with our nice triple hit true combo. Sim would be so proud. But that guy was a bro. He was cool. We gave him a little wave. He was a great guy. I messaged him after, and I just told him that was the most fun I think I've ever had playing this game. So, anywho, we are back to the Black Knight straight sword build, and I think we took off the Knight helm here, and we are now using the Executioner helm, I believe. But we've taken off the Knight leggings in the favor of someone's trousers, who I don't know who. But this pushes our poise around 34, which, you know, I think is not super, I mean, it's not super duper or anything, you know, but I think it's a good medium level poise for the kind of level I'm at. And we have on the Night Slayer ring, as well as the Ring of Favor and Havel's ring, and then we keep one slot open. Really, the Night Slayer ring and the Silver Cat ring are kind of interchangeable with the Life ring and any other ring that I kind of need. I think eventually, when I work my way through the entire game, I'm gonna look into getting the Hunter's ring, and then I think I'll respec my stats so that I don't need quite as much dexterity to utilize the Black Knight sword. Health-wise, I think we have around 30. I think that's what we're rocking with. I'm not entirely sure. But using the Life ring, Ring of Favor, and all that jazz, we have... Look at this guy's just skipping all over the place. This one was frustrating. He was skipping all over the place. I just didn't know what to do. Like, it's not terrible. He's not skating. It's just skipping, like little frames here and there, and he's doing the running R1s with a katana. So that's kind of frustrating. But you know, we are an invader. Our goal is to overcome every obstacle, and I mean, at some points we literally just stand there and like watch him, and he's just sprinting all over the place. What can you do? And so we actually run up here just to see. I don't even know. I think we were just trying to see if we could fix the lag a little bit, and it doesn't really work. But he's chasing us. Maybe we give it a minute. I don't know. Comes up here and he decides, I don't want to go any further. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. You're lagging into your world and you haven't beaten the two NPC guys, so I get it. That would heavily skew in my favor. I don't understand why people don't equip Way of Blue when they get invaded. That's like the first thing I do if I know I'm getting invaded. I throw on Way of Blue. Got to get those Concords. So he seems to be over it, and I'm like, okay, and then, no, start skipping again. So we come on the stairs. He's going to chase us on the stairs, and he's going to just jump off, just like that. And that's another Pale Tongue for me. Easy peasy. Probably the easiest Pale Tongue I've ever acquired. This was a pretty good one. This was a really solid spot, because if they came close enough, they would aggro a little bit of attacking from the Outrider Knights, which I'll take. Unfortunately, we couldn't ever get to aggro that Flame Spear Knight guy over there. You know, is whatever. This host has 2 gold phantoms, and they just want to like chill at the bonfire. They've got the gate open over here, but they just won't go. Got like a great axe. I mean, is that... How did I get that backstab? I mean, come on. We've been practicing the backstabs here and there when we come across solo hosts with ultra great swords. Sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. It's a work in progress. But these guys leave, and I do you a solid here because I cut about 2 minutes of me sitting here, and literally they just go and stay there. They don't go through the level, they hang out the bonfire, and then they come back, and I'm like, okay, now we can actually play the game. Cool. It's 3v1. I chuck some fire at them just to irritate them. And, I mean, look at those no aiming throws. I am just super good at this game. And we hit him, roll away. The host is actually playing somewhat aggressive, which is kind of nice. The Goldies are very afraid. And I'm not really trying to aggro the enemies at all. I just don't want to be in that corner, if I'm honest with you. I want to be where that gate is open. So we get him, get the host, kind of roll away. I don't know why the other gold is not doing anything. It's super weird. Ran out of stamina there, but we could have punished him once more. And now we are trying to get those knights involved. How? I have no idea. Roll away there. And we just need one of them to make a mistake, and they do there. The knights come. They just start doing their magic, which, you know, whatever. One gold there has literally done the stretch out emote. Like, dude, you are a useless sack of poo. Like, that's all you're doing. You're not helping at all. Finally decides to come, and he runs away again. So, for whatever reason, the host decides to come at me, and the golds decide to run away. But, I mean, the host is here, and I'm like, okay, I mean, host, we'll fight, we'll do the thing. And I hit him there, and then he rolls away, but luckily for me, he aggroed a little bit of magic, and that's why golds, you need to always take care of your hosts. Another Pelton for me. So this was my favorite invasion, I think. Was it this one? No, this one's not it. This was just another standard dual bonfire guy thing. The nice thing about the Black Knight sword with the Night Slayer ring is that 2 R1s will break the shield. It will stagger the shield of most shields that are turtling, as I've seen. The only problem with it is most of the time, if there's a second or third phantom, I don't always have the opportunity to get the riposte off, especially if they make a single swing, and then I have the Night Slayer ring on. It's a guaranteed shield break from this sword. Again, I can't always get the riposte. It's kind of frustrating. It's just my low stamina. I think once I get the prisoner chain, this build will become a lot better. We'll be able to put a little bit more armor on, get a little bit more poise. I think we keep the Farron Covenant on. So I think we're kind of working towards getting the Wolf Ring. We try to play around a bit with different. Look at that, 127. We did about as much damage as he did with one swing, as he did with 3. Just spamming. We get him in there again. Feeling good. He's gonna spam, and we play around a bit here. If we time it well and they roll in a way that we can track them, we can get off a 3-hit combo with this by doing R1 leaping R2, which does, I mean, it does pretty decent damage, I think, for this level. And he decides he's gonna throw Kukiris at me to make me bleed. Throw firebombs at you. I guarantee you I have more firebombs than you have Kukiris. And so we're just doing the same thing again. We're harassing him, trying to get him to get away from the bonfire. I mean, even if we're dueling up here, it's not at the bonfire. The whole bonfire thing, it's just overrated. You have all the advantages, and I literally have nothing. So I'm like, okay, harass you with firebombs. I think here we just decided to see how far we can throw the firebombs. But you gotta admit, our aim is pretty impressive. Like, we're doing pretty well. That's where he was before when we looked away. So there we just decided to see how far we can chuck it. It's pretty good. We got a pretty good arm. I think we could throw this guy into baseball or American football or something crazy. He'd do pretty well. But we take this opportunity to put some stuff in the quick slots and just hang out because he is doing something. I think he changed his weapon, is what I think he did, which is fine. If it gets him to be more aggressive, that's great. So he comes in. We go for the 3-hit combo there. It doesn't really work. The only downside with the 3-hit combo is I run completely out of stamina. I really got to learn how to take care of this weapon art here because it really irritates me. It does like no damage too. At least not with the armor I've got on. It does like no damage, but I don't know how to parry this. I don't know how to deal with that. It just gets annoying if I'm honest with you. It's just spammy. Like, I mean, come on, dude. Like, do you do anything else besides that? And then he got to roll. I mean, he did that weapon art and then still was able to roll out of it to avoid my hit. It was super frustrating. We're getting some nice roll catches. Hit him twice. And this is kind of where we succeed here, is he's spamming everything. And we just stay on top of him. We point down at him for standing around the bonfire and spamming weapon art. Because point downs are cool. And apparently, according to Facebook, they're accepted. This was my favorite invasion. We spawned in right on this guy, and we kind of just want him to make the first move. I'm wondering if I can trick him into like coming to attack us, and then I can get a hit or something on. But he decided to chuck lightning to test us out very wisely. Well done, Lucky Devil 24709 or 99, I think. So the blues come in. I actually have grown to like having the blues come in to fight. I feel like it really adds a certain element of challenge to the game, and I feel like it really helps hosts for the most part. 30 cow. We're so cool. Saint would be so proud. But we're really harassing that host and doing pretty well, I think. And now the blues come in, so we gotta back off and kind of reassess and get after things. So everyone's healed up. Do a little bit of damage to the blue. I'm gonna focus on the blue because he is basically on the same level playing ground that I am. And I'm gonna make a judgment call to just let these die. Blue got a chance to heal, so we're gonna back off and just reassess things. I'll think about it. Maybe we're just gonna stay and just decide to keep on punching. We are feeling super. Now we're gonna run away and let that one witch kind of cover our escape. And you didn't really miss much. I just kind of came up to the stairs, and they have summoned another blue. The odds are ever against us. But do we give up? No, we don't. Do we play smartly and probably irritate all these people? Yes, we do. We get some nice hits off. The whole goal here is just not to get stuck in the middle of all three of them, right? And so we're trying to go for some turn and burns. We're going to pull these guys up here because I know that that guy up on the ledge there is going to pepper them with fire and irritate the crap out of them. And so that's kind of what we're going for, just pulling these guys up. I don't care if the host comes. I only want the blues right now. And so we just are screwing around with these guys and he gets launched in the air, which is cool. We managed to aggro a couple of Outrider Knights. So things are going pretty much in our favor. One blue down, 2 assists for me. We drink out of. And we start chasing this blue, and it turns out somehow his health is that low and he gets super frustrated. I should have pulled out a throwing knife there. But who could have imagined he would have rolled through all of that? Not I. So I go in there to start recording the clip. And we decide to try and put the pressure on these guys. Does no damage to backstab, that's fine. Because this guy is just going to keep on peppering him with stuff. Loses the blue, I'm happy with that. He's going to decide now, very wisely, that he needs to get out of dodge. which he does very wisely. I wish I could have gotten him here. Unfortunately, it's a very slow weapon, but Post is going to decide to run all the way back to the bonfire, which, I mean, I get it to a degree, but at the same time, it's Dark Souls. Like, come on, dude, he managed to kill that enemy up there, so I wish he would have just stayed up there and fought me or something, or but I guess he's just trying to get some more blues to spawn in at this point. So he's just playing real passive and rolling around, pulls out his bow and arrow, gets me with one. We're going to try and get him with some damage. I don't know how that attack didn't stagger him at all, but it did damage. And we start doing the throwing knives because we are getting irritated at this point. And he's just going to run away. And we're going to chase him with his arrow sticking out of our shoulder because we're kind and we want to give it back. But we want to give it back in the form of death. So we get him with the firebomb there. Good stuff. Just pressuring those, really. That's all we're doing. Just pressuring him. And I think I realized around this point he's out of Estus because he hasn't healed in a while. And so we are going to just keep on chasing him and being super aggressive. We probably could have and should have switched to a straight sword. And that might have been easier. We have some very bad... That one actually wasn't bad. But they're just running at this point. They're just buying time. And we're just trying to think about what to do. We try to go for the leaping R2 there instead of the R1 because that's very predictable. And we're trying to be unpredictable at this point. And we managed to get him there. Very nicely done. And of course, blocking the shield. Takes a few swings at us. We go for the firebomb. Doesn't connect. And we go to the throwing daggers because this is how we're going to get him. And so he's going to keep on running and we're going to chase him. You're going to die. And that's the end of the video. Give him a point down for anyway like that. But we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.